Serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the Man Who Ate the Town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode 181 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of January the 4th through the 10th, 2021. My name is Tim Beeman.
My name's Ray Morgan, and it's 2021, not 2020. Hi.
And I'm Leah Metz.
And we're kind of scared to open the recipe box.
Whoa.
We are recording this episode of The Man Who Ate the Town in the Less Desirable Studio South, a.k.a. my house. We are practicing social distancing using Zoom, sponsored by Bull's Tavern. Leah will be pulling back to about every other week on the podcast. We don't talk about it much, but she is back in college working on a degree, and it takes up a lot of her time. And she also puts an awful lot of volunteer hours per school requirement, and because she's just awesome. I want this known. I don't pay Ray or Leah to be on this show. I am honored that they volunteer their time to be part of my baby. And I know that isn't always convenient for either of them. So I am graced by their sheer willingness to be part of this without much return. They get an occasional perk here and there, but mostly it's volunteered time and out of the goodness of their hearts. She is still doing the list with me, and nothing on that end has changed. We got into this together, and we'll see it through till its irrelevance together. So nothing's going on there. She just needs to pull back to concentrate on her personal business and her school stuff that she's got going on. And I respect that, and I appreciate the time that she does give me. So to both of you, thank you very much for being here with me. And Leah, good luck on your stuff, and we will see you about every other week. And if you can't make it, I understand. So, but I hope that you can. I think that you have added a great dimension to this show, and love you being here. So I am happy for the time that I do get with you. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. And yes, it is truly just a refocusing for me and figuring out my priorities and where I'm going. So cut back just a little bit, but you'll still get a good chunk of me every other week.
Yeah, yes. Well, as Ray alluded to, Happy New Year. The year that must not be named is over, and here we are. I hope you. I hope that you both and all of our listeners had an enjoyable, if not unique, holiday. There has been a lot going on, so let's jump into it. First, we have the big one. Bibbs Downtown has closed. Now,
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. So
No. I hadn't heard this. Please tell me you're yanking our chain. This is April Fool's early.
No, there is no chain being yanked here. There was talk of potential buyers, but with the immediate future being so unpredictable, not that the future is really ever predictable anyway, no one was prepared to fully bite on the idea. Their lease was up, and instead of holding to another term, it was easier for Mark, Robert, and Ricky to go ahead and call it a day. Somehow, this sparked a lot of political mumbo-jumbo and finger-pointing, which was disappointing at best. Why must everything be political? I don't do resolutions, but in 2021, I'm going to be as anti-politics as possible. There are things that I won't be able to avoid, and it doesn't mean that I'm not interested in policy or things going on. It means that I'm not interested in the us versus them, the finger pointing, finger wagging, let's block things that are good, promote vitriol and lies and all that shit. So I'm done with it. Bibbs, now back to Bibbs. Remember Bibbs? Was a staple downtown, and we all held our collective breaths. But it didn't happen at the 11th hour as we had hoped it would, and the restaurant has now closed. So, so that's
we are less for it.
Yeah. Along the lines of the closing, Social Southern closed on January the 2nd. I changed it on the list, Leah. You had 2020, but it's 2021.
Oh.
That was with plenty of warning, and I will admit that I did not get out there to have one of those fantastic burgers before they closed. The last 2 weeks, while I was off from most podcast things, I was prepping for some new ones coming this year and didn't get to make the trek out there. But to the Gibbs family, here's hoping that you get back to something you love and that we all get to share it with you. Something new is taking the space, but I don't know what that is yet. I do know that they sold Stoked a few months back, although I didn't know about that until this morning. But it is still operating under the Stoked name and have expanded their hours and I believe the menu. That's not on my side of the list, so I don't get to see it much. But again, to the Gibbs family who owned Social Southern, much luck to what you're doing. I know she's a real estate agent. I'm not sure what he does outside of the restaurateur part. But if you lived out that way, it is something you're going to miss. Again, I don't know what the new concept is, and I hope it's as good. But it was just a little bit out there for me to get to. It was location-wise, it took me about 20-25 minutes to get there. And then that means 20-25 minutes to get back. So, I mean, that's almost an hour travel time. Mm-hmm. And that's hard to do.
Try living in Mount Airy and everything's that far away.
Yeah, I don't envy you for that at all. But this is as we'll talk about here in just a little bit. That this is not the end of the things that are closing, but it also, as we'll talk about here in a minute, there are things coming as well. Real quick, Bobby Boy Bake Shop is closed until next Tuesday, the 12th. Just taking a well-deserved break. They've been doing nonstop, lined out the door work since, forever it seems. So enjoy your break, John and Lucia, Bobby.
Yeah, be back in time for Valentine's Day.
They certainly will. They'll be back next Tuesday. I want to take a second real quick to talk about Diamondback Grill. Diamondback Grill is our newest sponsor. It's casual dining located in the heart of Buena Vista in Winston-Salem. Diamondback Grill is a fantastic family-owned farm-to-fork restaurant that sources most of its ingredients from local farmers, which means your food is always fresh. Diamondback Grill, and if you don't know, that also helps with your allergies as well, because things that are pollinated by local bees help your allergies be better equipped to handle the seasons. Diamondback Grill also offers craft cocktails, an extensive beer and wine list, and an inviting atmosphere. Diamondback is involved with their community, and they invite all their neighbors, and we don't mean just those in Buena Vista, to come sit by their fireplace and find fantastic food and beverage to make you and your taste buds happy. They're at 751 Avalon Road. Find them on the web, diamondbackgrill.com, and on Facebook and Instagram, Diamondback Grill. Also, let's talk a minute about some fantastic Cuban and Latin soul food. Mojito Latin soul food, located 723 North Trade Street. Cuban and Latin-inspired dishes from a fantastic family, the Beyonds. From brilliant ceviche, empanadas, street corn, to Cubano sandwiches, steak sandwiches, and the Frita Burger, which has changed its name now to just the Mojito Burger. Oh. I noticed they have a new menu, new things on the menu. It's they have shrimp and grits, the vaca frita and ropa vieja, beer, wine, and now an ABC license.
Yeah.
So they have mojitos available at Mojito. They have three.
Really?
Yes, they have three signature ones. They have the classic, which is the rum with the mint and I think soda water and lime. Then they have the Miami, which I believe, I'm not sure what's in that. I didn't take a picture of the menu. I should have. And then what Stephanie had was the Sebastian, which included orange juice and I believe Sprite. So,
Ooh.
yeah, so we tasted both of those. I say tasted, like slurped them down, both of those. But they also have other signature cocktails that they spent time making. And I know Brittany, one of the bartenders over there, said she couldn't wait to start making me drinks again. So that's something else to look forward to over there. So yeah, Latino Cravings ready for your enjoyment. They do reservations, takeout, and a rather large outdoor patio. Check them out on their Facebook page and MojitoLatinSoulFood.com. Yeah, so go over there, have some mojitos.
It's exciting that they finally got their ABC license.
Yes, finally. He sent me a text. Mojitos this weekend, brother. And I'm like, yeah. So we went on New Year's Day. Had to start the New Year's right.
Great way to start the new year, for
Absolutely.
sure.
I had a chance this weekend last week, not this weekend, last week to see the new space at Willows. If you're looking at the front door to Willows, it's the space to the left. The door that is behind the host station there leads into it, as does the door in the back hall where the restrooms are. There's a lot of space in there, but they have a lot of work to do. They're using it now, but it's really, it's not where it should be, and they know it. It's overflow space so people can eat. They still have the heated. We sat outside. It was a lovely day, whichever day it was. We were there. I think it was Wednesday, the 30th of the year that must not be named. We ate outside, but the weather was nice. But they do have the heaters outside. But yeah, so the funny thing was, I toured it with Carol Leggett, who I talked about last show, being the one who broke that news, right? So he showed up just to see it, and I'm like, well, hell, I want to see it. So we broke into the place because they had they couldn't find the key, so they had to use knives and paper clips to open the doors and set the alarm off. But hey, no cops showed up, so we were okay. And it wasn't just me and Carol; it was employees of the restaurant was going to show it to us as well.
What was that space? Who was in that space before?
It was a law office or something.
Okay.
I mean, it's or not a law. I think it was a marketing. But there's still, there's still a lot of things happening upstairs that the steps are in this, and there's steps in another part at the very end. Now, the things to the right of Willows, if you're looking at the front, I don't know what those are.
Well, one's the Creative Community Lab with School of the Arts. That's on the far end.
Yeah.
On the right-hand end.
On the right-hand end?
Yeah, as you're facing the building.
Well, it looked like that name sounds familiar there. I don't know what it was, but it sounded like this. But it was, the name was still on the door, on the side door, and really it looks a lot like what's in Willows already, but they just have some things they need to fix up. So, but it'll be good for them. It'll be good for them when I get it. Now, we talked about the things closing, and now we have some things that are coming. Clementine's Gourmet Toast and Juice Bar is coming this Friday, the 8th of January. It will be in Sir Winston at the Indigo Hotel on the corner of Liberty and 4th. Sir Winston is not closing. They want people to know that. It will be the dinner service only, though. Sir Winston will only be dinner. And Clementine's will be the breakfast lunch service. Now, many people don't realize that Sir Winston isn't named after Winston-Salem. It's named after Sir Winston Churchill. And Winston Churchill's wife's name was Clementine. So there will be toast items, grains, grits, fruit bowls, hearty bowls, soups, gourmet juice drinks, coffee from Starbucks, and tea from Teavana. I have reached out, and they are interested in coming on the podcast, but it will be tight for them because of the timing, of course. Tomorrow is the Friends and Family event. I have my voucher to go. I will talk to them a little bit. I may try to record a conversation if I can. If I can, then I'll either post that on the blog or play it next week here on the podcast. But I'm trying to get them to come on. So, more on that to come. But the menu looks very, very good. Roar, R-O-A-R, is coming to Liberty Street. Roar is the entertainment complex that is going into the Twin City Automotive Building on the corner of Liberty and 7th, right across from Camel City Barbecue Factory and the APHIS building. The complex will have duck pin bowling, a putt-putt course, full-service golf club, the Great Gatsby Golf Club, and the Ford Dining Hall. The Ford Dining Hall will feature both fine dining and casual dining. Sir Winston, who is owned by the same company that owns this, will be doing pop-ups from January to March featuring the restaurants that will be in the Ford Dining Hall. These restaurants that are featured are Arepas, Blue Crab, Coco Mocha, Dragon Fruit, Joey Corral, Global Sandwich, Rosso, and the best I can say is est, although it could be A, EST. EST in French is. But I'm not sure what because I've not been able to find any of these on Facebook or otherwise to look up what they are. They highly recommend that reservations are made, and you can make those and get more information on Roar by visiting roarws.com. And like I said, I'm also, because I have been talking with Nikki Terry, who is her official title over there is Accounts Payable and Purchasing Manager, but she's been doing some PR stuff for them as well. But I am talking with Andre and Kevin about Clementine, and I'm talking with Joseph about Roar. So I'm hoping to have Joseph on maybe next week or the week after, and I am working to get Kevin and Andre to talk about Clementines.
This concept sounds very much like the one that they were talking about doing more towards the heart of downtown.
In the Sentinel business.
Right.
Yeah, Sentinel Commons.
Yeah. So is that still happening? Is this taking its place? Are these going to be kind of competing venues?
I believe it's competing venues. I haven't heard anything more about the Sentinel Commons since Nick and his folks were on, a year and a half ago? Well, it's probably about a year ago because you were still doing some stuff here. But this came along, and the Simon Burgess and his company, Mayfair Street Partners, bought the Twin City Automotive Building, which used to be the Ford dealership, and they sold Model T cars.
Cool.
So I know a couple of people here in town have Model Ts that will probably be hanging around there for a little bit. But this came up, and it was, once it happened, I think it was just snowball, rolling and building. I don't know what's going on with the Sentinel Commons thing. I need to reach out, but I haven't heard anything more about it since they were on.
So is this, like, if I'm remembering right, like across the street from Arts for Art's sake?
Yep. So
that block,
yeah,
next door to Camel City.
Yes. Yeah, it's on the corner of 7th and Liberty. And if you're standing at APHIS, it's right across the street from you. If you're standing at the top door at Camel City Barbecue Factory and you're looking straight down to where the Hoot satellite is and all that stuff, you turn to your left and it's there. So it's on the south side of Camel City on Liberty Street, just at 7th Street there.
It's nice to know that building will be repurposed.
Yeah, it was, it truly was an automotive place there for a while. There was a garage in there that worked on cars because you could drive by there and see like the fan belts and spark plugs and things hanging on the wall. And they were open, but it wasn't like an auto supply place auto parts place that you go and get it yourself. They basically kept that for themselves for their garage. So it's, I'm with you. I'm glad to see something going in there. I worry about the timing only because of, pandemic and things. But when we see the other side, this will be needed, and I think that it's a great concept. I just hope that the timing's right for them. I have nothing bad to say about the concept, other than just worry about timing.
Well, and in the past, when I've been at conferences in bigger cities, they've had like a food hall or a food market, and groups of us have gone out and eaten at places like that, where you can get just a variety of stuff. And when you have a variety of people, you can flood in and go get, and then all meet and sit together. So
it's an oversized food court.
Yep.
Yeah, Faneuil Hall in Boston is like that. It's not that there's shops and things too, and I believe this will be some retail things as well as entertainment. But I don't know about those things. But the food concept aspect of it, I'm really interested in what all these restaurants are. Yeah. And who owns them. Are they independent places that are coming in, or are they Mayfair Street Partners restaurants that are coming in? I'm okay with either one, but I'd be interested. But to Ray's point on the Sentinel Commons thing, this was the idea that they had, that they came on our show a year or so ago to talk about. And then the pandemic hit and nobody could move forward with anything.
Well, and looking through the website that they've got, like you said, roarws.com, it looks like these are all established restaurants. I mean, they've even got videos set up for each one of them. So, I'm with you. It's like, are these franchises they're just pulling into this? But it also doesn't look like what you would typically think of as food court fare.
Right.
It looks like it's going to be up like several notches above a food court.
Well, according to the thing that I read, it's going to be a combination of casual and fine dining. So, I mean, you don't find a lot of fine dining in a food court, but in some of the bigger cities, you'll have the things like this. I think the Epicenter in Charlotte is like that. And
Denver, Colorado has one that's pretty neat.
Cool. Yeah, so I mean, it's basically a mall for entertainment and food. And I guess the only thing other than that I would worry about is, are they going to use the bottom for parking deck or what? Because where are people going to park for this? Because people are not going to walk. So and that parking lot across the street where Toastery is and Mission and all that stuff, that can only hold so many people.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on? where
you can't put everybody on the street.
No, you can't. Well, also coming to North Liberty Street, up closer to the 25th Street, will be Dirty Fries. It is a loaded French fry restaurant. Ooh. So think of chicken and bacon with ranch, chicken and shrimp with mango habanero and ranch, Parmesan shrimp fries, honey garlic Beyond Meat fries, and much more. I have reached out, and we are working on having them on the podcast. I'm going to try for next week. They will be opening in the next few weeks. They're going to be located at 2440 North Liberty Street. the pictures that they've been posting are amazing.
I mean, you're talking loaded fries, and where my mind went is not the descriptions that you just gave. Those sound amazing.
Yeah, so it's not just hunks of meat and cheese. It's
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. So we'll find out more about that in the next little bit. I have the phone number for them. I've reached out via email, and they have sent me back, said, here's the phone number. Reach out to me, and we'll discuss what time works best. So it's coming. We'll have him on them on to know more about it.
Awesome.
Cool.
And so I guess it's almost time to add that one to the list. What did you add to the list?
Oh, so you know how I'm a mac and cheese connoisseur,
Yes.
and we went by Joymongers the other day to get some pints.
Mhm.
And there's a food truck out there called Miss Johnny Mays, and I'd never seen it before.
Mm-mm.
But when I looked over at the menu, I was like, it was like bigger than life. The 12 cheese mac listing. 12 listing on the thing. I didn't see anything else of what the food that they had on
Everything
the
else
list.
was blurry. The
It was
vignette,
blurry.
the vignette filter hit.
I mean, all I saw was 12 cheese mac. I was just like, and so we got that. I took a calculated bet on it and got 3 sides of mac because that's what you need.
Yeah.
2 for now, 1 for later.
Right? Holy shit. I mean, oh my God, it was so good. Like, it could compete with some of our local mac and cheese that I love, but I mean, it was so good. And then I rationed the other 2 containers through the weekend because, I had like a fork full here and a fork full there.
Here a fork, there a fork, everywhere a fork.
Yes. But so I got to talking to the folks in the truck. They just opened 3 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and based in High Point, but they're just making their way around and had a spot at Joymongers. And so, but if you see them, and I've added them to the list because now I'm stalking them.
Sure.
Driving to High Point going, please give me some mac and cheese.
Give me some mac and cheese. And so, yeah, that 12 cheese, like I didn't ask what cheese it was, but I know that there was at least a smoked Gouda in there because I could taste that. But it was just deliciousness. I mean, it was just some really good stuff. And when mac and cheese comes out and it's ooey gooey, it's not, that they just made it today.
Yeah.
It's not been sitting in the pan forever or a couple days and it's kind of congealed.
Yeah.
No, this was, it was right off the, right out of the bin. Like I might have to go find them this afternoon because now I ran out.
You're like mac and cheese like I am about chocolate.
I mean, it was just some good stuff, y'all. Y'all need to check them out and get at least their mac and cheese. I don't know what else is on the menu, but which there was a whole list of things, but 12 cheese mac. I mean, come on.
Did you add that to my list too?
Yes.
Excellent.
And the other thing to celebrate, as in these tough times, as places are closing, we have 2 places that have been open for a year and just celebrated their 1-year anniversary.
All right.
One of them is the Rhythm Lounge and Grill. They posted that they just hit their 1-year anniversary. So congrats to them for making it a year. I know that had to be tough opening up and then everything hit.
Yeah.
2 months later. And then one of my all-time favorites, Radar Brewing. Eric, woo woo. That's some good beer, and they just hit one year on the first. So kudos to both Radar and the Rhythm Lounge and Grill for making it a year, especially in these tough times. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how they do when it's not tough times.
Yeah.
But
It's saying something to have survived the first year when it's the year that shall not be named.
yep,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Well, one company that's not been around just a year, been around for several, is Washington Perk and Provision Company. They are located at 301 West 4th Street. You'll find a little bit of everything at the Perk: a chip corner, a deli to get your sandwich on the go, local fruits, veggies, meat and dairy, Bingo Bango sodas, Wolfie's custard, a wall of beer and wine, and more. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, not quite a grocery store. On Facebook, they are Washington Perk, and at Washington Perk _DTWS on Instagram. I want to talk a little more about the list that Leah and I do. This one's not on the list that is on the Man Who Ate the Town part, but we have been, or Leah did the grand thing of comprising the on like the Oscars or the Grammys, they have the in memoriam part that the artists that we've lost over the years, and this is the time when we're going to do the in memoriam for the restaurants that we've lost over this past year. And these are in alphabetical order, not on chronological order, because I'm too lazy to put them in that. So the 31st was Bibbs Downtown, which we mentioned. The 23rd, Bonefish closed. On the 17th, we lost Cafe Veradu. And then on the 17th of October, I'm sorry. And then 2 weeks later, on the 2nd of November, we lost Organics Juice Bar, both of them owned by George Memory and his wife. In September, we lost Carmine's Italian Restaurant on Jonestown. On May 18th, Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen left town. In August, in 2 days, almost in a row, the 24th and 26th. 24th, we lost Corks, Caps, and Taps. And the 26th, we lost Cimarron Steakhouse. Dr. Chops, the best I can figure, closed September the 24th. At least that's the day that Leah and I talked about it. They had closed back in March temporarily and then just never reopened. The 17th of September was when Lighthouse Grill closed. May 25th was Mary's Gourmet Diner. The 12th of October was Mooney's Mediterranean Grill, which both of those had been closed since March 14th or so when all this started happening. The 1st of July, Paul's Fine Dining closed for good. In May, the last couple days in May this year, Providence at BB&T closed. That was not their fault. That was not COVID related. That was BB&T closing the building. Ruby Tuesdays closed in Clemens on the 11th. They had been closed since on the 11th of August. They had been closed since March. Now, we have on here March 31st for Silo, but I guarantee you it was late January that they actually closed. That was the last that my son actually worked over there, and they turned their keys in. I was told by a former employee, not my son, but another former employee, that they had already turned their keys in well before that, but they waited for whatever reason to announce it there. January the 2nd of this year, Social Southern Kitchen and Cocktails. The 30th of October last year, Spruce Street Garden Craft Tavern. The 22nd of October, Tart Sweets. December 14th, the Beer Growler. That was kind of a shock, but kind of not. They said they were moving. They did. They moved right out. They didn't reopen. So the Slanted Shed food truck on the 18th, the one that was sitting in front of Fiddlin' Fish. July 1st, Trey Street Diner officially closed. They had been closed since March. And on the 31st, the West End Coffee House closed down. Now, we did have two that relocated. They didn't actually close, but relocated. One was Wild Weenie's Wiener Wagon, which is hard to say fast. They moved back in September to Myrtle Beach. And Twin City Hive moved to Gibsonville in August. So those are the ones that we know for sure that we have lost in the last year. And surprisingly to me, there were not more. I'm glad there wasn't more, because this is a 23, not counting the two relocations, that's 23 items on that list. I was expecting, when all this was really starting to hit around the end of May, the 1st of June, that we would end up losing around 50. And I'm glad or more. And I'm glad that my estimate was wrong. And I'm some of it is stubbornness, I'm sure. Some of it is resiliency. And a lot of it is that the people love their places. And the ones that closed didn't necessarily do so because of lack of business or enthusiasm. It was several things. Like Mary, I think she was tired.
Yeah.
And she wasn't ready for it to become the grocery store that they were going to try to, all the other places around were going to do. It was her opportunity to jump out. Paul's Fine Italian Dining. I know the family, Paul had passed, and the family were getting out. Mooney went through some health things. Cafe Veridu and Organics. I don't really know what happened there, but I'm sure the pandemic didn't help it. Social Southern, I'm sure, was pandemic related. I know Spruce Street Garden was. So not everything was pandemic related, but it is what it is. We have lost them, and we have new things coming in. Some of the things that we lost, I'm really torn up about, and some things we lost, I'm like, I won't mention any of the names because that's not important. But it's just and we don't know about Murphy's. I think Murphy's is gone, but it's not on this list because we don't know. They haven't fully announced that they've closed. I call there, and there's still an answering machine. But I need to walk by there is what I need to do. I need to take a day, just go walking downtown. I need the exercise, and it'd be good to do some investigating. So.
Well, I think in some ways, Tim, if we take a slightly broader view, the closing of I-40 through downtown had already knocked some of those businesses off of the list.
Yeah.
They weren't able to survive that.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that it's a testament to our local restaurant scene that, especially the ones downtown, that not only did they survive Salem Parkway being redone, they're surviving COVID, and in some cases, even thriving. Mm-hmm. So it's exciting to see. Some of those places that you mentioned, and those are still just primo restaurant spots. See, what's next? It makes me wonder, like Moody's spot, man, somebody needs to snag that spot. There are several that you mentioned that say, man, it'd be really good to see somebody back there with something new, some sort of new concept for Winston-Salem.
There'll have to be a lot of extensive repairs done on that building, though. One of Mooney's things was it needed a lot of update and fit, and they couldn't. It just was not in the budget, and if they can get somebody in there that's ready to put some dollars behind it, then that could be a good space. Another thing we missed on here, Zesto's not on here. And I know that they're gone. So,
They're officially gone.
As far as I know, because Algernon had even mentioned he's glad he got out when he did. I see you on there. I see you moving. I'll find a date for you for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's sad, but as with everything in life, there's a circle of life and a process, and to everything, turn. And we will find things on the other side, things that are hopefully better, things that work better, things that may be a new concept, things that may be pulling from other things to make good on what we're missing now. So, I think the Roar is a good start with that, because we're adding, 6-7 restaurants on there. So, so that's good. I know many places on my side of the list are looking for employees, as Tira will tell you here in just a few minutes. I know that the restaurants are looking for front of house, back of house, servers, kitchen, management, all of it. I know there are a lot of restaurant workers that are out of work, so put it out there. That work awaits them. Let's fill these restaurants back up, get them back rolling. Anything else, Leah, that you know of?
I think that's it at the moment.
All right, it's time for Getting in Your Business. And we welcome today from Black Mountain Chocolate Bar, the HCIC, and that's the head chocolatier in charge, Miss Tira Cowan.
Hello. Happy New Year. Thanks for having me.
Happy New Year indeed. So there's big news with Black Mountain Chocolate Bar, right?
Yes, Black Mountain Chocolate Bar is open for business. We're working on sort of a soft opening hours. We're trying to figure out hours and staffing and that kind of thing right now. But we are definitely going to be here Wednesday through Sunday. And then we will, we're working towards a grand opening at the end of January to kick off the biggest holiday season for chocolatiers, which is Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
So no rest for the weary until probably March. I might get a day off sometime now in March. Who knows?
Well, luckily you love what you do.
Oh, I absolutely love what I do. I'm so lucky to have this job and the opportunity. And honestly, we're just really, really lucky to be in a town like Winston, because the support has just been unreal. And it was really nice we had sort of like a super sneaky opening this weekend where we emailed everyone on our newsletter list, and it was just nice to see all of the familiar faces with masks on, of course.
Yeah.
The familiar eyes attached to faces come out and support us. And then, just being in this space, I just feel we're just really blessed, and we're looking forward to getting our goods out to the public again.
Well, I know I knew I didn't come because I didn't know about it until after, because I wasn't on the mailing list. But but I know that Dana Moody had posted it. She says, "Shh."
Yeah, I got a big love Dan.
Yeah,
Dan's the best.
Yes, she is. So you made the move from Trade Street, about 3 streets over, to Patterson Avenue, basically the Bailey Park South part. You're right behind what will be 600 Degrees.
Yep. Have been over here on the regular basis, so we've been talking to them, and we're really excited to be in the same building with them as well.
So what is different about Black Mountain Chocolate Bar, and wink wink on the bar, different than what was Black Mountain Chocolate when it was in the big Winston warehouse?
Well, first and foremost, it is a larger space, which we started planning this all before COVID hit. We wanted more seating for our customers, because the front of house at Trade Street was very, very small. I mean, at best you could fit 2 families and 1 person to be
Yeah.
able to sit down comfortably inside. So we had a very large seating area. We have a community table. We've added booths. And of course, since we're going to be a bar, we have a bar top with bar stools. We have recently turned in the application. We finally got everybody to sign off on our liquor license. So now it's in the state's hands. Ideally, we're going to sort of focus on craft cocktails on our bar side. So we're not going to have a very large liquor selection, but what we have is going to sort of mirror our chocolate products. It's going to be good quality liquor. And the exciting thing is, too, that we can do pairings, cocktail pairings, wine pairings, beer pairings, something that we have been sort of working on even at Trade Street. We worked with Fiddle and Fish and did a truffle and beer pairing. But we're excited to be in this space because it allows us to continue to educate people about chocolate and sort of think outside of the box when it comes to pairing chocolate with things. Everybody's pretty quick to point out that wine and chocolate absolutely do go very, very well together.
Oh, yes.
But there are really good bourbons and beers and that kind of stuff that you can pair chocolate with too. So I'm just fortunate enough to be in the position that I have to try all of the pairings before we, cut them loose on the public.
Yeah, I bet Scotch would go well with chocolate. I think especially the cigar style scotches. Which have you guys talked with anyone about doing cigar stuff with chocolate? I know you have to be in a special place, but it might be outside the bar area. But you could possibly pull that off. And if you haven't, I have someone you can talk to.
I have not, and that is a wonderful idea. It might be something that we could have as an event, because we do have a very nice outdoor space to utilize. We're in the coal pit, so we're on the opposite end of incendiary, and so that is an excellent idea. Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome. I have the perfect person for you to talk to. Yes. Shout out to Bethany Miller at Top Leaf Cigar Lounge. I will make the introduction after we finish here. Oh no, I cut off my computer, but everything else is still going. So, so the bar concept and the you're still making the chocolate. Everything is. Will people be able to watch you make the chocolate and stuff like they did in the past?
Yes, we do have the windows on our roasting room area and our cold room area. We decided not to make the grinding room where the actual chocolate refiner is visible because it's sort of boring. I mean, it's neat to hear about, but you really can't see what's going on inside. And it just looks like a big piece of machinery.
Yeah.
But you absolutely be able to look in the roasting room and watch that part of the process. And then also in the cold room, you can see us mold bars, making drinking chocolate, enrobing truffles. We'll have all of the same products that we had at our Trade Street location, but we'll be able to add more variety and more baked goods into the mix as well. So we started off pretty small with this weekend we only had 5 truffles available. We picked the top 5 best sellers, and we're going to slowly build up our inventory. So we're going to go from 5 to hopefully by the grand opening, we'll have anywhere from 15 to 18 varieties of truffles available.
Okay. Will you offer any tours or anything like that, or is everything just what you see is what you get?
We will. We have a special because of COVID, but also because of the space and the things that we learned from Trade Street. We won't be offering behind-the-scenes tours anymore, so you won't be able to go back and to the roasting, grinding, or cold room. Again, you'll be able to see them from our front of house area, but we have designed what we call the makery, the chocolate makery. So there's a section before you hit the bar in between the pastry section and what will be the bar that we will be doing demos. So we actually have a mini roaster. Looks like a little toaster oven. It's cute, and it smells really good when we're roasting the beans. It does about 2 pounds at a time.
Yeah.
We have a mini refiner. So we'll continue to be able to educate people about the process of making chocolate. Also, a great thing about that space is it's where we would do the chocolate pairings, but we'll also be teaching classes, ganache classes, and possibly even baking and cooking classes from that space as well.
Cool. Well, I've dominated the conversation up to this point. Ray, who, if you don't know Ray Morgan, Ray is our resident chocoholic.
Okay.
He's our aficionado. He's our all things chocolate person. He is the man what likes some chocolate. That's what the perfect gift for him is. Anything in chocolate except for like ants or grasshoppers.
Yeah.
And I say don't knock it till you've tried. But so
I tried it.
I have a feeling that Ray has some chocolate questions and.
Well, I'm just curious, is there a place for my cot? Because it sounds like I'm going to need to move in.
Well, it's pretty darn comfortable here, I will say. I have taken a couple naps from here to there in the construction process. So you can sort of camp out in the booth if you need to.
I believe that we need a daily dose of chocolate. That's an important feature in life. It is right up there with, meats and vegetables and chocolate, you dairy, you need all of that.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to know that y'all are going to have that much more space and you get to do new stuff. Anytime that I've been to the old location, I left with a big old grin on my face, and supplies to last me for days while y'all do such good chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm curious of all the stuff that you're going to do. What's the one that's like the most exciting to you?
The stuff that we make currently, it's always got to be the caramel truffles. I just love caramel so much, and we have such a great caramel recipe. It's almost the best caramel, and it's the best caramel truffle I've ever had. And I know that's probably biased, but I've other people too. In the future, it's definitely going to be, we are going to start making our own custards. So we're going to do in-house custards. So being able to play with different recipes and flavors and chocolate profiles and that kind of thing we're really, really excited about it. Also, I love to eat custard, ice cream, gelato, and that stuff. So I am probably going to gain at least 20 pounds when we get that thing up and going. Quality control all the way around. It's the hardest job.
That's right. Leah, you have any questions or comments or?
Well, so I know I've gotten stuff from y'all before for Valentine's, like the tarts that y'all have had in the past.
Yeah.
Those are good. In getting ready for Valentine's Day, like when do we need to get our orders in so that we get stuff in time? Because some of us are last minute lazy,
Well, that's the thing about Valentine's Day. It is way different than Christmas. Like, Christmas is a slow burn, so it starts before Thanksgiving, and we have all of this time. Everybody waits until the last second of Valentine's Day. So it's really that week before Valentine's, which is on a Sunday this year. We are just swamped. Even like the morning of Valentine's, we will have people lined out the door waiting for us to open our doors. And we generally will sell out of truffles by 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. We did have some left last year, but they were the varieties that sort of, I think we had 3 varieties. We had Mountain Moonshine, which we use Broad Branch's Night Lab whiskey for. We had Mint Meltaways and Texas Pete, which those 3 don't really go well together. So we'll put something out on social media for pre-orders for people who want to get specifically baked items and that kind of thing. And possibly even just offer the variety pack that you can pre-order online. If you want to pick and choose, it would probably best to come in the first week of February and get those.
Okay.
And we will not be doing chocolate covered strawberries, guys. I'm sorry, we just don't do that. It's really a hard process. and I know we're going to get calls anyways, but I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. There's not going to be any chocolate covered strawberries. What we do to sort of bypass, we make a chocolate covered strawberry truffle. So we put homemade strawberry jam in it and a dark chocolate ganache into a truffle. So you have it in a little bite size.
Well, that's fair.
The variety that we have out right now, we actually have a newer caramel. We call it the Moravian Spice Caramel, and it's sort of like, it tastes like the holidays in caramel form, and it's sort of like a ginger snap or a gingerbread flavor to it, but it's also a caramel. And we're just going to continue to. Here's the thing: we've moved out of the last space at the end of September, and we spent the whole last month just making a ridiculous amount of chocolate bars to be able to get through wholesale. So us coming back into the space right now, we're almost having to relearn how to do everything in a new space.
Right.
So just be with us. We're going to continue to put out the goods, but it's going to be a slow lead up to that grand opening and the Valentine's Day holiday. But we're here. Ellen,
So will this also increase your output?
Yeah, it'll definitely increase our output. Just again, we didn't market this past weekend, and just the amount of foot traffic that came in and bought drinking chocolates and truffles and that kind of stuff was pretty amazing. So we're really excited about
You said you said drinking chocolate, and Ray about came through the computer.
If you've never had, you offer a signature dark, and then we offer a cayenne cinnamon, which is delightful drinking chocolate. They're both vegan. Our dark chocolate is vegan, so you can add it to any kind of milk of your choice. There's no powdered milk in it. We basically just take our chocolate chunks that we use in the kitchen for our chocolate chunk cookies, and we put it through a grinder. So it's literally just ground up chocolate. So, and it's not that you don't even have to put it. You don't have to put it in hot milk. You can actually put it on top of ice cream. We have people that just eat it by the spoonful. So it's really up to you. If you buy chocolate, I'm not really going to tell you how to enjoy it. That's really up to the consumer.
Ray's spoon is a ladle. That's
A ladle.
Actually, I'm going to get a new spoon just to come to y'all. It'll be a shovel.
A snow shovel at that. Yes.
Size.
I was about to say it'd probably be a funnel.
A big one of those big oil ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a convenient canister that you can just dump it in your mouth. It almost looks like a drinking cup, so you can just shovel it in that way. No utensil required for that.
Nice. Yes. So if you can find a way, how like in the gerbil or hamster cages, you have the little water dispenser thing that the only thing they have to do is go up and lick on it. You need that for Ray, just so he can sit next to his stained glass workbench, and he can just turn to the side and lick a couple of times and go back to work.
or
one of those hats, like you put the beer cans in, it's got the straws that come out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it'd be a good birthday present for me this year.
What were you going to say, Leah?
Well, no, my thought was to that same. I was thinking of the camelbacks that bike riders wear.
Yeah.
With the tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even have to, if you put it in the right spot.
Yeah.
You can just ouch and just.
But it would have to be like, I don't know, a 20-gallon bag. And he would just have it sitting, I guess, on a chair next to him or something.
That would last till lunch.
That might, yeah. I'm not going to encourage you not to drink so much drinking chocolate, but at some point you're going to get a tummy ache, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, not Ray.
Let's find out where that line is.
Yeah, he hasn't found Phil line yet.
Right.
I mean, the coffee that I'm drinking this morning has chocolate in it.
Yeah. Chocolate too. You can just put it in the bottom of your cup, put your hot coffee on top of it, give it a good stir, and you always have a nice little chocolatey surprise at the bottom of the cup too.
So your coffee service, who is the provider for the coffee?
We stuck with Dynamite Roasters out of Black Mountain. We are in a location that is close to some other coffee places right now.
Right.
And we were just so happy with the quality of the coffee and the espresso that they provide for us. We've just been with them for such a long time that we decided not to change it up. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
Yeah. Were the Peters with them when they moved here from Black Mountain? Okay. So that one's just long. Yeah.
Yeah. Our factory in Black Mountain, when it was there, was right down the street from Dynamite.
Okay.
So that's how they got on it. And again, it's just such good quality. They're great people to work with, and they have some really good roasts, including their seasonal roasts are always fantastic. So we sell by the bag here right now, but we use their Mexican blend for our drip coffee, and then their espresso for espresso drinks, obviously. We have a larger espresso machine. And again, I'm going to ask everybody to be patient with us on this one because we just finished installing the machine on Thursday. So we haven't really had the thing in-house for a week yet. So sort of figuring out all the bells and whistles on this beautiful machine has been a challenge. But I think I made a breakthrough this weekend.
Yeah.
So we can definitely drip coffee, and we can definitely make drinking chocolates right now. Everything else are a little bit in the experimental phase, but hopefully when we open up on Wednesday, I'll be an expert on that too.
So,
I know so much about things right now. I had no idea how much learning I would do in this process.
So do you have decaf espresso drinks?
We'll see. I sort of, trying to move out of the old factory, I sort of had access to the espresso machine and burnt myself out on caffeine. Like by 2:00, I was just running around.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a decaf drinker now. So yes, we do intend to have decaf espresso drinks.
Thank you, because I can't have caffeine. So it's not a, well, what's the point of drinking? Well, I like the taste of coffee, but
Yeah,
I can't have all the things that go with it. Now, I know there's caffeine in chocolate, and I know there's caffeine in this, and there's caffeine in that, but that's different than having
in a double shot of espresso or something.
Yeah.
So we will be offering decaf products or coffee as well, drip and espresso.
Very, very good. I'm so happy to hear that. So, anything else you want the listeners to know about?
Yes, actually. It's been, and understandably so, with COVID and everything, times are very uncertain, especially around the holiday season. It's just sort of, we came to the point where we're opening at a sort of a bad time for hiring. So we are hiring a front of house manager. We're also looking for a bar manager. Again, we don't have our liquor license yet, but we want to go ahead and get somebody good in place. And also front of house staff. So if anybody out there is interested in learning the chocolate business, please reach out to us via our Facebook page, or you can email me directly. It's Tira@blackmountainchocolate.com. That's TIRRA. Or just stop by while we're open, get some chocolate and get an application. Come on by. Yeah. But we're so excited.
I so want to work here, man.
Everybody says
chocolate's so good.
I think that, we've been off of everybody's radar for a little while. Yeah. So it's going to take a little time to get back up. But until then, I don't need to sleep a ton.
Yeah. You'll sleep later.
Yeah.
Sleep when you're dead. That's it.
Yeah.
The bad thing is, I can't drink espresso, regular espresso to wake me up or anything. But the staff we have here now, they're exceptional. I'm extremely happy for them to have jobs to come back to. So I really want to, we got to thank Brent and Millie Peters for continuing on this journey down this chocolate trail that we are on. And I have to thank my managers. Elise Pollard is my kitchen manager. She's going to be running things now on the pastry and the chocolate side. And then my production manager, Liz, is just fantastic. She just comes in and just cranks out bars. So couldn't do it without them. We could not provide good quality chocolate without good quality employees. So we're really, really lucky to have these wonderful people in our lives.
Awesome. So what's the address there?
It is 450 North Patterson Avenue. We're in Suite 110. So if you're coming across from Bailey Park, that's probably the easiest landmark. You would cross on that brick path and come up in between the smokestacks, and we're on the left-hand side. If you're coming from Incendiary Brewery, you just keep walking all the way down the coal pit until you hit us.
Yep, and you can come on the new bridge on the off of 4th Street. 4th Street goes all the way over to the middle, and if you go to the bottom of the steps, there you are.
Yep, we're to the left. Just look to the left, and you'll see our outdoor furniture. We have some very interesting, new, quirky kind of seating arrangement out there. So we've gotten a lot of good response about that. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to come see it for yourself.
Awesome. So social media, what's your social media stuff?
We are Black Mountain Chocolate on Instagram and Facebook. So check us out there. We will be constantly updating things as we have updates to give. And then I also started a personal Facebook group about all of the photo shoots that go on here in the coal pit.
I got my invite yesterday.
It's astounding how many people are out here. I can't blame them. It's beautiful. It's cool. It's different. It's industrial. But I mean, people will be out here when it's 39 degrees and raining, cats and dogs taking pictures out here. So
yeah.
If you're planning on doing it, you might end up on that group.
Well, I know several of our friends, and Ray and I are a part of a referral group, and we have several photographers, and they offered headshots. And one place that a lot of them were going was Bailey Park.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, it's where Ray's came from. Yeah.
Quinceañera, we had a nice big quinceañera photo shoot out here on Saturday, and wedding photo shoots, professional photo shoots. I can't wait till like prom and wedding season. It's going to be bonkers.
Yeah.
Want to sell chocolate to every single person that's out here. Just opening the door and yelling like, "You guys want chocolate?"
Your picture would look so much better with chocolate in it.
Get it all over your white dress. Here you go.
Because what goes better on a wedding dress than chocolate? Melt.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Tira, thank you so much for being on here to talk about Black Mountain Chocolate Bar. I think it's cool double entendre that because, a chocolate bar.
Yeah, chocolate bar.
And then a chocolate bar. So I just think that's awesome. But thank you so much for being here, sharing your chocolate enthusiasm with us, and I'm sure that we will all be around there very soon. Ray lives in Mount Airy right now, but there's no, it's like the old thing with what smoking a camel, I'd fly to the desert to smoke a camel or whatever. I'm sure he would drive to Winston-Salem for the chocolate. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're excited to see you all in our space. So yes, please come and come visit us. We miss people.
And make sure you take some pictures out there.
Yeah, some pictures. Get pictures of you taking pictures.
Indeed. All right. Well, Tira, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Again, thank you to Tira Cowan for being here from Black Mountain Chocolate Bar. I know Ray is very excited about this concept. We all are, but Ray especially, because he dreams of chocolate rivers and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He would have been the first one to jump in that river.
Yep.
what I wouldn't have done for the golden ticket. Yeah, my new address is going to be their Black Mountain Chocolate Bar. Just all my mail there. You'll find me there with a chocolate IV in each arm.
Yeah. So let's now go into some food holidays and history. Today is the 4th of January, and it is National Spaghetti Day. And you know where has some good spaghetti? Just so we'll get this known.
Where?
Carrabba's
Where?
Italian Grill, located 587 South Stratford Road. This is no chain. This is a responsible family of restaurants. Carrabba's and their owner partners, like Daniel Butner, take the communities they serve very seriously. And for us, having a fantastic franchisee or proprietario like Daniel certainly does not suck. Follow Carrabba's on social media and carrabbas.com. And especially tonight, it's National Spaghetti Day. So, so go grab some. I think, hold on, let me pull up. I think I have, yes, it's National Spaghetti Day today and every day. Enjoy spaghetti and meatballs for only $16.49 at Carrabba's. If you're a pasta lover and you know that today is National Spaghetti Day, making it a perfect day to enjoy spaghetti, choose spaghetti with our scratch-made pomodoro sauce, bolognese sauce, meat sauce, or meatballs, all served with a cup of warm soup or a side salad. It's Happy National Spaghetti Day from Carrabba's. So enjoy that.
That sounds good.
Today on the 4th in 1493, Columbus returned from his first voyage to the New World, where he discovered many people already where he was.
I was like, what?
World.
Yeah.
Wait.
A whole new world of people that's already there.
Cracks me up.
So on the 5th, it is National Whipped Cream Day. In 1858, on the 5th, Ezra Warner of Waterbury, Connecticut, received a patent for a can opener. The patent application says a new and useful improvement in instruments for cutting open sealed cans, tin cans, and boxes. And I believe the basic concept is what we still use today, the little hand crank ones. But this is a little different back then, but that was the precursor to what we use now. On the 5th in 1889, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, the word hamburger first appeared in print on this day in Walla Walla, Washington newspaper, the Walla Walla Union.
I lived in Walla Walla once as a child.
Did you?
Did you?
Small world.
Walla Walla.
Walla Walla.
Just fun to say. Walla Walla.
Every time I hear it, I think of Daffy Duck. I represent this right here from Walla Walla, Washington. When he was like the salesperson, the traveling sales guy. In 1914, on the 5th of January, Henry Ford introduced a minimum wage of $5 per day. And back then, that was a lot. In 1961, on the 5th, Mr. Ed, the talking horse, debuts on TV. I believe Jim Young, one of our listeners, has talked about meeting. I can't think of the guy's name right offhand.
The
I was
voice.
going to say the actual horse.
No,
I was like,
Mr.
wow.
Ed.
No. He met the horse.
Alan Young. Alan Young is his name. I think he's met him at least on one occasion, maybe more.
Not to be confused with Alan Younger.
No relation to Jim Young, who I'm talking about, and not related to Alan Younger, who spells it with two L's, Alan Younger. But yes, so Mr. Ed debuted on tomorrow in 1961. In 2009, a locally caught bluefin tuna weighing 282.5 pounds sold for $104.7 thousand. That's $371 a pound at Tokyo's Tsukiji Fish Market auction. Prized by sushi lovers, the normal price for bluefin tuna is about $25 to $50 per pound. but it sold extra that day in 2009. Now, on the same day in 2012, a 593-pound bluefin tuna was sold for $724,000 at the same market. That's about $1,220 per pound.
Insane.
It is.
I love tuna.
Crazy.
Not that much.
Yeah. And how good could it be? That big. I don't know.
Generally, it gets tougher the bigger it gets. So
I don't know.
I know about tuna.
I don't know. Steven might know. Street Team Steven should call in and talk about how the tuna history, because I'm sure if anybody knows, he knows.
Probably.
Give us some insight, Steven.
Yes.
We need your help.
On the 6th, it's National Shortbread Day and Bean Day, because in 1884, Gregor Johann Mendel died. Mendel was an Austrian botanist whose work was the foundation of the science of genetics, working mainly with garden peas and beans. Some 28,000 plants over 7 years, he discovered what was to be known as the laws of heredity. You know
I
this?
did not
Leah?
know that.
Yes, I am in college. I decided back in the day, my senior thesis project was using Mendel's laws of hereditary, or and doing that with fruit flies to see if I could get the same phenotypes and same, which is the genes that produce whichever, as he did with the pea plants, to see if the patterns were the same. So I bred fruit flies for about 6 months, trying to replicate Mendel's law. So I know all about Mendel too. Good guy, smart.
What a guy.
What a guy.
On the 6th, in 1929, Sheffield Farms of New York began using wax paper cartons instead of glass bottles for milk delivery. In 1988, the famous Paris restaurant La Coupole was sold and eventually replaced by an office building. It was famous for its Welsh rarebit and had been frequented by James Joyce, Henry Miller, and other notable Americans. On the 7th, it is National Tempura Day. I wonder if they had any of that on the 593-pound bluefin tuna. What a way to waste it. In 1784, on the 7th, David Landreth started the first seed business in the United States in Philadelphia. Today, the D. Landreth Seed Company is the 5th oldest corporation in the country.
Huh.
Cool.
In 1789, the first presidential election was held on the 7th. In 1830, the B&O Railroad began service. For Monopoly fans, you'll know that one well, is the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. In 1901, Alfred Packer is released from prison. He served 18 years for cannibalism after being stranded in the Rocky Mountains, which is not exactly true. He was actually convicted of murder since cannibalism was not against the law at the time. So.
Okay. I'm assuming that it's changed now. Now that's illegal.
Yeah, I believe it is.
I think that's state to state, maybe.
Yeah, I think that is a state.
Not that I know these things for any reason.
Yeah. And you've lived how many states, Leah?
That look on your face, you're like, well, there's a couple of states that I know. You can still roast grandma.
She says, I am what I eat. And you notice I'm human. So,
I bite my tongue. No pun intended.
In 1908, Procter & Gamble registered the Ivory soap trademark. On the 7th, in 1958, ant farms go on sale for the first time. Milton Levine had the idea at a July 4th family picnic. So might as well make money on those little annoying creatures.
They're everywhere. Make some money.
On the 8th, it is National English Toffee Day. And yeah, I like that too. That goes well with chocolate, doesn't it? Heath bars,
It does.
Score.
Yeah.
1676 on the 8th, Charles II of England revoked his previous proclamation suppressing coffee houses due to public response. He did that. The proclamation suppressing them happened less than about 2 weeks earlier than that. And people said, "Nah, we're not putting up with that crap," so he changed it. In 1800, on the 8th, the first soup kitchens in London were opened to serve the poor. In 1872, African-American inventor Thomas Elkins received his second patent, which was for a chamber commode, a combination bureau, mirror, book rack, washstand, table, easy chair, and earth closet or chamber stool.
Was there a sink? Was the kitchen sink in there as well?
Probably. All in
It
one.
makes thousands of julienne fries.
It slices, it dices. On the 8th in 1964, U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson declares a war on poverty. I think that we have lost that war, mostly. In 1982, AT&T settles an antitrust lawsuit by agreeing to divest itself of the 22 Bell System telephone companies. I remember that day. I remember that news coming out, and I was asking my dad, "What is AT&T?" Because I didn't know. I only knew, was it Southern
Ma
Bell?
Yeah.
Whichever one. Because Bell South here for a while, but it was Southern
It was
Bell.
Southern Bell before that.
Yeah, but I lived in West Virginia, and it was something else Bell. On the 8th in 2018 in Rocky River, Ohio, the local postal service reports that aggressive turkeys are creating unsafe conditions for postal carriers. So residents are required to stop putting out bird feed, hoping the turkeys will go elsewhere. Go away, turkeys.
Aggressive turkey problem.
Yeah.
Oh, if we could only have that problem today.
Well, I know that we weren't here on the 27th of December, but I do want to say the happy belated birthday to my mother, whose birthday is on the 27th. And the reason I bring that up is because on the 8th, it will be my father's birthday. So happy birthday to him this Friday coming. Also, happy birthday to Elvis and to David Bowie as well. On the 9th, it's National Apricot Day. And in 1493, Christopher Columbus, sailing near the Dominican Republic, spots 3 mermaids. Wait a minute. We'll go back and look at something. 1493, and the 4th, he returned from his first voyage. And then on the 9th, he didn't take less than that's wrong. Has to be wrong. But anyway, he was sailing near the Dominican Republic, spotted 3 mermaids. Actually, they were manatees, but he didn't know any better because it sounds like he wasn't the brightest of stars in the sky.
Nope.
In 1863, on the 9th, the world's first underground railway, London's Metropolitan Railway, officially opened. We call that the Underground now, or the Tube. It was open to the public the following day. And then on the 10th, it's National Oysters Rockefeller Day. And here's for you, Ray, Bittersweet Chocolate Day.
Yes.
On the 10th in 1839, Indian tea became available in Britain for the first time. Up to this time, only tea from China had been available, and it was very expensive. The development and import of Indian tea brought the price down so all can afford it, especially when England owned India at the time. And it quickly became the national drink. In 1899, on the 10th, David Missel was issued a patent for the first battery-operated flashlight. In 1969, on the 10th, the last issue of the Saturday Evening Post was published. It had been published since 1821. And in 1984, Wendy's Where's the Beef ad campaign began. Burgers aren't just for kids anymore.
Where's the beef?
I'm looking everywhere. Where's the beef? So that's all the food history and holidays for the day. Special thanks to James Ealer at Food Reference for making us chuckle, roll our eyes, talk about Clara, whatever her face was, that was the where's the beef thing, talking about whether we could wash our hands while still sitting at the toilet, which I think would defeat the purpose. Whether or not cannibalism is illegal in all states or not, and other things. So thank you, James, for all of that. The Man Who Ate the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables Network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, Beer Dads, Fan Interference, Wheeler's Dog, Asylum, the Tales of Devereaux Diaries podcast. You can find all these podcasts and the latest episodes on our network website and directory, tldpodnetwork.com. You can also find social media links for each one there as well. This is a reminder to all of our listeners, and it's good practice, not just now, but for always. Wash your damn hands. Nothing's changed in this new year. Wash your damn hands. Wash with warm water and soap. Wash with that soap for about 20 seconds or more. If you don't know how long 20 seconds is, sing this, if I can get it to play.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire.
So that album, The Doors' debut album, called The Doors, today turns 54 years old.
Wow.
1967. So, happy birthday to that. Keep an eye on the blog and this podcast to find out more about the food news and happenings around town. If you have food news, send us an email at Tim or Leah or Ray at themanwhoatethetown.com. You can also contact us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, instant messengers. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are Man8TheTown, and on Instagram, we are Man Who Ate the Town. We now invite you to call and leave a voicemail for the podcast or any podcast on the TLD network. Just make sure you mention which one you're calling for. Call 336-422-6862. That's right, 336-422-NUM. Leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on the podcast. Again, 336-422-NUM-6862. Special thanks again to Tira Cowan for being here with Black Mountain Chocolate Bar. And Leah, I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks. Two weeks. Peace. So my name is Tim.
My name's Ray.
And I'm Leah.
And we're closing the recipe box. Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit. Yamas. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the Man Who Ate the Town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.